BBC Sussex.
0800 232 1045.
BBC Sussex. So let's hear from somebody who took that decision to leave during their first year at university. Here's my conversation with Paige Lewis.
I started uni in 2016 and I just really struggled. I just really hated it. I wasn't getting on well with people. I didn't really like my course. I just turned 18 as well in the June, and then I came in September. I was just really young. My mental health was really, really bad, and I was finding it hard to be independent, be away from my family, and having to juggle everything. It just got worse and worse, and, my family mentioned, would you want to ever come back home? And I was like, not really. I think there was a bit of a stigma about dropping out, and, you tell everyone this big news that you're going to university, and then suddenly you're not there anymore. So I just kept going, and then it got to a point where I really couldn't handle it anymore. I just went to someone, I was like, I don't know if I can do this, and they just gave me this piece of paper, and they were like, yep, sign it, you're on. And then I ended up dropping out. I lasted until about May. I wish I would have done it a bit sooner. I think if I wasn't so nervous about telling people about dropping out, I would have done it sooner.
Had it come up before you eventually dropped out in May? Because actually there's everybody else on that first year is in a similar boat, probably the first time away from home, lots of unfamiliar things going on there. Was there anybody who you could confide in and talk to about what you were feeling?
There were people there. As a first year, I wasn't really aware of the people, and this was my first time sort of being independent. I'd never even booked a doctor's appointment by myself, and then I'm here and I'm struggling, and I need to find these people to talk to and talk about my feelings. A lot of feelings I didn't really understand, and it was very doing it all independently, and I didn't have my parents there who normally supported me and kind of found things out. So I found it very, very hard. And I think that's also why it took me so long to eventually drop out. I didn't really know how to go about that.
It sounds like you would have got a good listening ear if you'd contacted your parents. Did you do that at any stage to say what was going on?
My parents knew, and I think they were very, very happy when I decided to drop out. They really did want me back home. They just knew that it wasn't my year. So it was helpful, but when you're at university and you're struggling, your parents don't know unless you pick up the phone and tell them. And sometimes I just found it really hard to just be able to pick up the phone and say, oh, today's not my day. So they had to rely on me communicating that.
And so if we've reached that time in the first year at uni, this early part of November, when it's the time people are most likely to kind of move back, give it up, drop out, whatever you want to call it, or just discover that it's not the right time for them, what would you say to people who might be feeling like that today?
Uni isn't for everyone, and I think it's okay for people to drop out. I also think, there's a lot of pressure that you go to college or you do your A-levels and then you just go to university, and people need time to grow, people need time to think, and I think that's completely okay. I dropped out because I just needed time, and I did end up coming back after that time. I think there's now a thing everyone goes to uni and all this, you don't have to come. And sometimes it's better to finish it and be like, no, this isn't for me. Take some time off, and if you want to, come back, rather than, ideally do what I did, wanting to not be here but staying, and things just got progressively too bad.
Mm-hmm. And how are things now? Are you graduating? Are you studying again now?
Yeah, I graduate in July. I'm very, very excited to graduate because I've been here a very long time.
Right.
And everything's just better now. I actually generally love being here, which is a big difference. So I'm glad I had that time out.
Well, that is good to hear, and appreciate Paige telling us about her experience starting off at university. Paige Lewis there. Join me on the line now. BBC